Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am doing my Dispositions Self-Assessment video for my Education 525 class at Grand Canyon University. So, dispositions that I possess. I'd like to believe that I'm an honest person. I don't like to lie to people, but I can and will lie if lying will prevent the other person from being hurt. Of course, there are situations in education where I should and shouldn't lie, such as if a student came to me with a problem that they had, and later on another student came to ask me about that problem, I wouldn't tell them the truth because that's a breach of the other student's privacy. Um, so I'd have to kind of lie my way around it so that they feel satisfied and don't ask me, or just, yeah. But if a parent were to come and ask about how their child was doing, and say that they were doing poorly and I felt bad for them, I still wouldn't want to lie to the parent because they have the right to know what's going on and what I'm trying to do to help them. And telling them would be better because the parent can also help me help the student by whatever methods that we come up with. It's just better to keep parents in the loop. But honesty for teachers is important because personally, what I'm thinking is that honest teachers will try to do things that will prevent them from having to be dishonest. So they will try to improve themselves so that they don't have to make excuses for some sort of mistake that they've done or something like that. They'll just try to be a person where they don't even have to worry about that kind of thing. And I'm not at that point yet, not at all. But that's something that I would like to be at eventually. Like I'm at this beginning part of it because I value honesty. I just need to get up there. My other disposition is respect for the diversity of others. All races and sexes should be welcomed, no matter if it's in the educational environment or just in society in general. I don't have any tolerance for anyone who discriminates against another person based on their appearance or capabilities. Um, this disposition is especially important for teachers because bias exists. There's bias such as like Asian kids are good at math or something like that, which is not true. Uh, Children are capable of things. They could be good at something, it could be bad at something. It's just dependent on how they grew up or other circumstances like that. Um, but I don't want to be a person that thinks like that bias. There are also biases that aren't really spoken, like there are biases that may prevent you from getting closer to someone based on something that you don't like about them, or it's like a bias like that. It's not something that you can really control. It's just something that more affected you as you grew up, and you might not even realize it yourself. Uh, it's just since I'm aware that those kinds of biases exist, I'd like to think that I'm not a person who will so easily hurt someone based on a bias, because like I would think more about what I say and how it'll affect someone else. Let's see. So dispositions I need to work on. That one is more professional conduct based on my attire. So I like to wear t-shirts, jeans, and sneakers. And I used to wear jackets a lot, not anymore. But that all of that is not very professional. Um, I don't feel comfortable in professional clothes. I just feel comfortable in my t-shirts and jeans. But that's something I can't wear in a professional setting. So I will need to find clothes that I can feel comfortable in and just get used to wearing them. And aside from that, uh, professional conduct based on how I interact with people. I feel like I might struggle with interacting with like angry parents. There are instances at my work where I worked at a community pool, and there were parents who didn't follow the rules, and they would get mad at me for trying to enforce them, and in like they would start calling me things, and in return I would get angry. I wouldn't call them things, but I would just not have a very polite tone uh, in trying to just prove myself right. It's not something I should do, especially in an educational setting. Um, that's something I have to work on, and the only way I can really work on it is to practice and like get experience with those kinds of teachers or parents. I don't know if I'll actually run into them in teaching. I probably will, but it's just something to look out for. So, feedback that I receive based on my teaching, I would definitely want to incorporate and try to work on. So, if I have any like negative comments from like parents about like how I'm doing things, I would want to consider those comments and change it so that it fits more their standard, but also doesn't diminish my teaching ability at all. Um, and if there's any issues, I can definitely go and ask my fellow teachers for advice, or just look for better methods of teaching, which could be online or again from those teachers because they have experience in this field. Um, I wouldn't want to not try to do anything because my students would be my first priority. I want to help them the best that I can, and not doing anything would basically be failing them. And we don't want that. It's a waste of their time, and it's going to look good on me, that's for sure. Um, so, yeah, I just want to try to do whatever I can to help them.